Hi everyone, it's really good that you're able to join us for our Senior Netball Barbados Tour launch. I'm really pleased to say that we have Henry Warple here with us from GB Sports Tours. He is going to be leading the presentation, telling everybody what the tour is about, when it's happening, and then I'll be able to give you some more information regarding the costing of the tour. And if anybody has any questions from then, we'll be able to answer them hopefully as soon as possible. So I'll hand over to Henry.
Cool. Good evening. Hopefully you can all hear me and the technology is working. It did last time. I launched a tour for the prep school boys on this platform about 3 weeks ago and it went okay, so bear with me. Good evening. Thank you for turning up. My name's Henry. I work for GB Sports, and with Mrs. Vass, we've been looking at an exciting Barbados netball tour for October 2022. I was lucky enough to go on the tour with the girls. I think it was in 2018 on a very similar tour to the one I'm about to show you this evening, and it was absolutely fantastic. What I'll do this evening is talk to you for about 10-15 minutes, a little bit about who GB are, go through what's included in the tour, and then get down to the nitty-gritty itinerary. And then at the end, we'll open it up to any questions that you guys may have. So the tour itself is looking to take place between the 15th and 24th of October, and that's next year. And it'll be over 10 days, 9 nights. One of those nights on the flight back will be in flight. So that's 8 nights on the island. A little bit about GB. We're established in the year 2000, and our office is based up in Newcastle, yet I look after the south of England. So I look after Birmingham and down in terms of the schools, and I've been working in the sports travel industry for around 10 years now, and also have worked with Surbiton over the last 5 years on a lot of tours ranging from the boys and girls prep, the junior school tour, the football tour, and then also the netball. I've been doing quite a lot of presentations on Zoom and Teams at the moment, and a lot of the questions I get asked is about the financial protection. At GB, we're ATOL and ABTA bonded, which basically means if anything happens to GB between now and the tour departing in October, all monies that you'll pay to the school and in turn us will get returned. That won't happen, but just to let you know, we're a kind of registered travel company. Also, there is the COVID question, which is very hard to escape at the moment, especially in the travel and tourism sector. We follow advice from the Foreign Commonwealth Office and the Department of Education. So basically, what that means is that if there are any travel restrictions in place to Barbados at the time of travel, on the 15th of October, the tour will be called off, and all monies would be returned to you, and that is including the deposit. So we basically take our guidelines, we listen to the Foreign Commonwealth Office and the Department of Education on that. So any money is paid to us, and if there is no travel allowed, will be returned to you as parents. Now moving on to the kind of sunnier parts of the actual tour itself. The kids will be departing on Saturday the 15th and then returning on Monday the 24th. As you'll see on the next slide, it's usually an early-ish morning flight around 9-10 o'clock out of Gatwick into Bridgetown, and then they'll be getting an evening flight on the Sunday the 23rd and arriving back on the Monday. It's 10 days, 9 nights, one of those in flight. Destination, as the front slide gave away, is Barbados, and we're staying in the All Seasons Resort. It's my favourite resort. I actually was lucky enough to go on cricket tour here over 20 years ago as a 13-year-old with my prep school, but also we send a lot of our schools there for netball, cricket, and hockey. And as I said, Surbiton stayed there in 2018. I was lucky enough to go out. It's a really nice, well-placed hotel, especially kind of for the island. It's in the middle, so for fixtures, no fixtures are too far away. It's very near a beach and has a lovely swimming pool and decent food. So yes, onto the flights. They will be likely to be with Virgin, flying out of London Gatwick, and they'll be going to Bridgetown. So early morning flight from Gatwick, and then on the way back, it will be a 5-6 o'clock in the evening flight from Bridgetown, and then landing, hopefully not silly early, but usually quite early on that Monday, the 24th. Baggage allowance, there will be one big check bag of 20 kg, and then hand luggage. That's kind of the usual that flight. The accommodation, so the way it's set up is there's a swimming pool in the middle, and then around that there are some apartments that the girls and the teachers will be staying in. So usually we put the teachers in the central apartment. The girls will then be fanning out from the central apartment. We'll know where the teachers are. It's a very safe, very secure hotel. It's been running sports tours for the last 20 years. The staff there are absolutely fantastic, and it is a ready-made hotel, and I'm sure Mrs. Vass will attend to this. It is a really lovely hotel, and it is run very well and perfect sports tours. These are an example of the rooms. Again, the rooms will be based on triples and quads. They won't be big double beds like this. We'll have smaller beds, and they'll be broken up. But the size of it, they're big kind of self-accommodation apartments where they'll have a little kitchen and then a big bedroom with a balcony. Again, things in all the kitchens, we will make sure that all the electrics and the cookers will be turned off, so they won't be able to kind of get in and use them too much. 5 minutes from the hotel, a 5-minute walk is Whole Town Beach, and this is a really plus point of staying at this hotel. There's a supermarket nearby, so any free time, if the girls are a bit bored of staying around a nice sunny pool, there is the option to go down to the local supermarket, chill out on the beach. And also some of the dinners that we'll take, as I'll run through the itinerary later, they're going to be in the local restaurants and will take place at this beach. It's pretty idyllic. It's the typical Caribbean beach, and it's fantastic. I suppose, yeah, well, the main aspect of the tour is the netball. Barbados are amazing at netball. It's similar for the boys in the cricket. It really is known for its netball. The island embraces it, and they're really quite good. Surbiton, the team we had out, I think we had 3 sides out last time, all pretty strong, but I think Mrs. Vass will kind of agree that the fixtures were pretty good and pretty tight, and there's some pretty confrontational but competitive fixtures towards the end of the tour, which were great for the girls, and a lot of them will be under lights where the local community will come out and create a bit of an atmosphere. Alongside that, there'll be nice 3 early morning training sessions that are led by Bayesian kind of age group coaches, and they will take place. I think a couple of the teachers took the girls on runs last year, so you can run down to the court in 15-20 minutes, and there's an option. I didn't run down to the courts, but there is an option that maybe for the October 22 trip you can run down, but don't worry, there is a coach that can take the girls back, and there was no running back because it got very hot and they were all on the coach. As well as that, there will be 5 matches, and that's 5 matches per team, so depending on the numbers we get, each side will play 5 matches, and they will be against the local Bayesian opposition. While you're out there, you'll play, back to the training. This is pictures of the training facility we use, and that is around, as I said, 15-20 minutes from the hotel. You play in some rather weird and wonderful places, and the local community will come out and support. So most of the fixtures take place of an evening, just because Surbiton tend to be quite strong in the netball side of things. So there are a couple of matches against local schools, but to get the fixtures right, they will play against older ladies and some rather tall, very good netballers later on in the tour. Just a couple of pictures that I dragged up from the tour in 2018. And as I said, they're really competitive on the pitch, but then afterwards, the ladies are fantastic, and usually this is what's seen after every fixture, is they get round and have a bit of social time with the local opposition. As well as that, it's not all netball. There will be some fantastic excursions for the girls to do. The highlight of these will be the catamaran cruise. You'll see from the itinerary a little bit later that the catamaran cruise is on the penultimate day. So all the fixtures, all the training's been done, so the girls and the teachers can get out and relax and do some snorkeling, see some turtles, and just generally chill out. As well as that, there is a Jeep Safari. So this isn't for the faint-hearted, and is a really fun trip where the girls will go and experience the island, seeing the Caribbean coast, but also the Atlantic coast, which is a little bit more rugged. As well, it was a really big success. You go down to Boatyard, which is again around 25 minutes from the hotel and just the other side of Bridgetown, and do some paddleboarding. So the girls, I think we took out for 2-3 hours, and then they had lunch at the beach and just have a bit of a beach day. And that worked out really well last time. And then Oistins, which is kind of a rite of passage for any sports tour going out to Barbados. It's a fish fry that takes place on the Friday night. So I'll go down and sample some of the food and the fried fish, but also the atmosphere down there, some Bajan music, Bajan dancehall music. And yet I have to admit, it's usually enjoyed a little bit more by the teachers than the girls themselves, but it is a really fun trip to do and nice to break up the tour. As I said, this is the itinerary that I put together, and usually with Barbados, it runs pretty fluid and it's pretty much the same. There's not much that changes. So as I said, the earliest morning flight, arrive in Bridgetown a little bit late in the evening, afternoon, and then you really hit the ground running. I was speaking to Mrs. Bass, we wanted to get as many fixtures and training sessions in. Being on the tour and running a tour previously for Surbiton, I think this is the best way. So there'll be a training session in the morning and then fixtures in the afternoon, broken up by a Jeep Safari, which is a whole day adventure, going to see the island. So there'll be lunch included on that. And then day 4 is the kind of first morning where they'll have a nice morning at the beach or around the pool. Usually, depending on the numbers we get, that can be split into some girls going to the pool and some girls going down to the beach. Fixture 2, and then day 5 is training session 2 and fixtures 3. The fixture 3 would be generally down towards the Bridgetown area, and then the girls after this may head off to the Oystins fish fry. Day 6, get your paddle boarding in, the 4th fixture. And then there'll be the final training session, the final fixtures. And then on day 8, it'll be the kind of the highlight, which is the catamaran cruise, which is fantastic to end the tour on that note. As you'll see from the next slide, the tour is all inclusive. It's a full board basis. So the girls really shouldn't want for anything while they're out there. They will have breakfast, lunch and dinner. Breakfast will be at the hotel and there'll be a big mixture of options. Lunches will be taken out as well as dinners. Dinners will be at local restaurants, and lunches, depending on our itinerary, will either be on the Jeep Safari, catamaran, back at the hotel or restaurants. The idea for this is that there's a bit of varied options for the dinners, and it's quite nice to go out and sample local restaurants, get out a bit more and explore in and around the hotel and a bit further afield. Included as well as the 5 netball fixtures, 3 training sessions and all the excursions that we talked about. Yeah, the girls shouldn't really want for anything while they're away. Maybe some presents for mum and dad to say thank you for potentially letting them go. But apart from that, everything is catered for. In terms of dietary requirements, as long as you let the school know in advance, if there are any, we can cater for anything. So as long as that's communicated with the Surbiton PE department and Mrs. Vast, then we are fine with that. That is the price there. And I think Cara at the end will go through a bit more about the pricing. Before we go on to any questions, before I stop, the reason that Mrs. Vast and I, we sat down and we've looked at our options for the long haul. Last year, there was the option to go to South Africa. Now, unfortunately, South Africa at the moment, as you can see from the Lions tour going out this summer, it's still a little bit dicey out there in terms of a long haul sports trip for schools going from the UK. Barbados' approach to the COVID pandemic has been fantastic, and we speak with their tourist board regularly, probably once a month, and get updates of what's being opened. And the way they've tested their quarantine and the options for us, if anything does go wrong out there, to get the school back safely, is by far and away the best destination long haul for a netball tour. We've seen this with a lot of the tours going out, not only netball, but cricket and hockey. There have been options from all other schools looking to go to Barbados, and the other places that are available for netball have not been as popular, notably kind of South Africa and Sri Lanka. So it's been thought out. We really have put a lot of work into it, and I think it is a fantastic tour, and fingers crossed by next October that it will all be okay and the girls will be able to go away and have a fantastic time. So that is it from me. I understand there were maybe a lot of questions, so I'm not sure. I think last time we put them in the Q&A box in the chat function.
Yeah, it does have any questions. That would be really helpful if you could just put it in the chat. As Henry is, he has been on this tour with us. He knows what Surbiton want from a tour, because he literally lived with us for 10 days. He knows exactly, lucky man, he knows what our expectations are and how high our expectations are, whether it be from the hotel or even to the ability of the players. And what we loved about going on the tour with Henry's company was the fact that it is so flexible. We came across a couple of schools that we were due to play that when we played other schools, we knew that they weren't going to be, the competition wasn't going to be there. So straight away, we were able to contact other schools, other clubs, and we were able to play different, more effective games that had the right competition. We will hopefully be taking three teams across the 3 age groups. With those teams, we will be mixing the age groups of those teams so that we will have potentially an A, B, C team that are a mixture of year 10, 11 and 12, 13, so that we know that we have the strongest squad. It's going to be my 4th time going, and so I'm feel really confident in taking the girls away to Barbados, because I now know the island so well. I know all of the restaurants. I know a lot of even some of the staff now within the schools. So it's something that it's somewhere, especially with COVID times, it's somewhere that although it might be a new destination for your daughter, it's somewhere that we feel super confident with going away in these times, and feel confident that we would be able to contact people if an incident of any kind was to occur. So it's really positive to know that we've got somewhere that we've been to on so many occasions. We know the hotel. The hotel staff are amazing. It's a beautiful hotel, and we know that if there are any dietary requirements, last year somebody told us at the last minute that they had certain dietary requirements. The hotel changed the menu completely for the one pupil to make sure that they had the right food that they needed. So it was fantastic. So it really is, it's a wonderful tour. All of the add-ons and the excursions that we do, we usually get to see turtles. We feed the turtles during the catamaran trip. When we've been paddleboarding, we've even been surfing with turtles swimming beside us as we're surfing. So it truly is a memorable and fantastic experience. And knowing that we have nationals, usually the 1st or 2nd week back after October half term, it couldn't be better training for any of the girls that are hoping to be selected to compete in our national squads. We go to Barbados playing like Surbiton, and it's very much, if there's a 50-50 contact, Surbiton might not end up with possession. We then go to Barbados, learn to play the Bayesian style of the game, and then trust me, when we get back, there is no 50-50, the ball is ours every single time. And they learn a different style of the game. They are so much more assertive. So you couldn't compete against a better national squad. And we've even had times when we've been playing in games, and it happened last time that we were winning against a local club, and they actually phoned the national Bayesian players and stopped the game, and we had to wait until the national Bayesian players were available, and then they came on the court and they played against our girls. And obviously, as you can imagine, that experience to know that you were competing against an actual international player was phenomenal. But that's what the Bayesians will do. They will make sure that we get the competition and an amazing experience. So it's really positive, really positive. But if anybody has any questions, if you could possibly write them in the chat message. Henry, do you have anything else that you want to add at all? Oh, I need to say. Okay, so just one final thing. Obviously, the payment is the full cost is, as Henry said, was £2,400. That is everything included. Yes, there is a supermarket down the road. It's a 5-minute walk. It's really safe. We usually organise timings with the girls so that there are members of staff that walks down with them, and then we see how things are going. And then usually if we're coming back from the beach, we do a supermarket stop off each time so that the girls can get any extra snacks or anything. But as we've said, this is full board. The girls will not need for anything else other than any touristy presence. With regards to the billing deadlines, this is important. So the 18th of June, the £600 deposit. So it's a non-refundable deposit of £600 is due on the 18th of June. The next payment scheduled is in the autumn term 2021 billing, and once again that will be £600. We then have the spring 2022 billing, which is £600, and then the final billing is the summer 2022, which once again £600. So we split the billing into 4 lots of £600, spread out over the next year or so. If you have any problems, please do contact me, and we'll see what we can do to organise anything. But the 18th of June is the deadline for your non-refundable deposit. At 8 p.m. this evening, I'm very aware that we have the Argentina hockey tour talk going on later this evening. At 8 o'clock this evening, you will all be sent a letter about the Barbados and about the Argentinian tour, where you will have an online reply. On the online reply, you can click whether your daughter would like to attend the Barbados tour or not. And if you are clicking that your daughter would like to attend, you're also accepting that the 18th of June billing will be taken out of your account from the 18th of June. But all of the information is on that 8 p.m. letter that's being sent this evening, as well as a copy of this presentation. So you'll be able to look at that, have a little chat through as a family and decide whether this is the trip for you. But I can't spread the word enough how amazing and how much fun we do have on this tour. It's fantastic. It's such good fun and things. So Henry, do you have
you seen that one question? It says, can all different player abilities go on the trip?
Yes. Oh, thank you for that, Henry. I can't see that, sorry. Yes, we have, it's open to all abilities. Like I say, we will, dependent on the number of pupils we have attending, we will have 3 teams and they will be a mixture of the age group. So even if you were the only person from your team in your year group attending, we would then mix you with the other groups, age groups that best suit your ability. And we make sure that the teams that we are playing match our ability as best as possible. We have the tour open so that we have 3 teams. If we have a higher number of pupils that want to attend and we have the staffing and Henry can accommodate us in the hotel, then if we have more people, the better. If we have less, we then have to look at how many teams that we want to take, because they are hour-long matches. It is hot, it's hard work, and if you only have 6 in your team and you're asking someone from another team to play a double match, as well as the training earlier in the morning, that can be quite a lot. But we always manage to get through. What we do say in terms of your ability is you need to be attending netball club, extracurricular netball club. Even if you haven't attended in the past, we do say that as of sort of September, or even as we're doing summer netball now, that we would ask you to start attending on a regular basis, just so that we know we can definitely cater for your ability. We know what your ability is, we know what your position is, and we can start to integrate you within a team. So if you haven't been part of the netball club in the past, that's not a problem, but you will need to attend on a weekly, regular basis in the future, definitely as of September, if not now, so that we can make sure that you're ready and fit enough. Because like I say, you're doing a morning training session followed by an hour's match in the heat. So we just need to make sure that you're going to be safe when you're playing. Okay, hopefully I've answered that one. Is there any others? I can't see it.
Not that I can see. That was
No, lovely. Well, if nobody has any other questions, we'll finish it there. We'll finish the presentation there. But everybody has my email address, cara.vass@surbitonhigh.com. Please feel free to email me over the next couple of days, or send your daughter to come and have a little chat with me in the PE office, and I can talk through anything with her. And if there's anything that I can't answer, Henry's at the end of the phone. He's used to me calling him and emailing him. and he'll be able to get back to us with any more information that we need. Wonderful. That's great. Okay, well, thank you ever so much, everybody, and hopefully want to see as many of your daughters in Barbados as possible. Fantastic. Thank you.